Ladies and gentlemen, in a short while I'm going to play for you a piece of music on my guitar. But I have a confession to make. I didn't practice. I did not prepare at all. But don't worry, there's one thing I did prepare for tonight. I prepared to be unprepared. So you might ask yourself, how can I go on this beautiful TEDx stage and not know what I'm going to play? Why did I not choose a piece of the great composer Bach and study the notes of his compositions by heart and play them for you as perfectly as I can? Or why did I not study the great jazz guitarist John Scofield and play his melodies for you? Well, the reason is simple. I thought it was much more valuable for you as a listener to hear a unique voice instead of a copy of another musician. And I remember a day when I was 14 years old. This started to become important for me. And I played a lot of jazz music, classical music. I studied the music of Bach and all the jazz guitarists I like. But when I was 14, I started thinking, how can I make this guitar sound like myself? I was a bit tired of playing the music of other people. So I was thinking for weeks and weeks, how can I make this guitar sound like me? So for weeks I was thinking, and after some days I got an idea. I realized that the sound of my own name, which is Bram, gave me a feeling of who I am as a person, as a personality. Maybe it's the same for you. If you hear your name somewhere, you get a feeling of who you are. So that's what I realized when I was 14. And I also realized that if I hit a string with my pick, this is a pick, it creates airwaves. So the string of my guitar is actually sending waves of air right into your ears, this time via the speakers. So I thought, how can I make this pick hit the string and contain the word Bram, so that I get the feeling that the word Bram is actually in the string. So at that time I was 14 and I just spent one day only playing one note for maybe 6 hours. And first I just played what I played back then. Nope. So I played one note. And slowly I started to feel how I can make Bram sound in the note. So you can hear, after a while, I started playing more than one note. And what I just played was an improvisation. It was not prepared. So back to preparing to be unprepared. If you want to play an improvisation on your instrument, if perhaps you have an instrument at home, or you can do it with your voice, apart from learning the skills of the instrument, you can also try to improvise. And for that, you need an intention, and this intention can be in the form of a story that inspires you, or a feeling that you have at that moment, or maybe your name, like I did when I was 14. And next to an intention that triggers your imagination and creativity, you need a taste. And you need to know what you actually like in music. And the beautiful thing about improvising, or the world of improvisation, is that it's a safe space for you to experiment, and good or bad doesn't really exist. It is a safe space for you to just play whatever you like. So the only judgment for improvising is if you like it or not, or if you find it interesting. And it doesn't matter what anybody is thinking about it. That's the nice thing about improvising. And the third thing you need is ears. And I think you all have ears. So you need to listen carefully and with an open mind to the note you just played, and react to that note, or maybe even what other musicians are playing if you play with them. You react to what the moment gives you with your intention and your taste. And then you create an improvisation, and that's what we'll do now for you. Dankjewel. Doei.